wealthy multinationals buying up agricultural land to avoid paying inheritance tax, with no intention of using it for farming. To take over the farm, his young daughters now share his passion. Sadly, they now face the prospect of losing the farm.
Is Keir Starmer's leadership crumbling before our eyes? Labour MP Steve's public criticism is just the tip of the iceberg. From inheritance tax revolts to the two-child benefit cap controversy, Starmer's facing fire from all sides. But here's what you might not know. There's a perfect storm brewing. It's not just about internal party squabbles. External pressures, including Elon Musk's growing influence and the looming Trump administration, are adding fuel to the fire. We're connecting the dots to show you the full picture. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Steve's bombshell call to axe inheritance tax on family farms has sent shockwaves through Labour's ranks, exposing deep-seated tensions within the party.
Many of my constituents in Montgomeryshire and Glyndŵr. Farming is at the heart of Wales' social fabric. If this policy is to target those who buy farmland solely to dodge inheritance tax, then let's make it so.
This isn't just about tax policy. It's a symptom of a growing rift between Starmer's leadership and traditional Labour strongholds. The farming community, once a reliable bastion of Labour support, is now feeling increasingly alienated and ignored. But why is this happening now? The answer lies in the current state of British agriculture. Farming, once the backbone of the rural economy, is now struggling to stay afloat.
Playing a vital role in our economy, food security and our stewardship of the beautiful Welsh countryside. It cannot be understated how that period of food inflation affected the poorest in our country.
Changes to agricultural property relief have hit family-run farms hard, threatening their very existence. These aren't just businesses. They're generations of heritage and a crucial link in the nation's food security chain. The impact of these policies is far-reaching. Rural voters who have long felt overlooked by urban-centric politicians are now voicing their discontent loud and clear.
And NFU Cymru at a farm in Llanerfel to discuss the ongoing challenges that farmers are facing. In recent years, we have seen something many never thought they'd witness: food scarcity, empty shelves in the supermarkets.
And they're not just grumbling over pints at the local pub, they're taking to the streets. Starmer's recent visit to Milton Keynes was met with a wall of angry farmers, accusing him of misleading the public over inheritance tax changes. It's a far cry from the warm welcomes Labour leaders once received in these areas. But here's the kicker: this backlash isn't isolated to rural communities. Labour MPs from across the political spectrum are breaking ranks, challenging Starmer's economic policies.
Currently the least profitable sector of our economy, and changes to APR are having a significant impact on family-run farms. Food security. I have repeatedly spoken in the chamber about my heartbreaking experiences with hungry children and food banks.
The controversial two-child benefit cap has become a lightning rod for dissent, with both left-wing firebrands and centrist moderates demanding a rethink. So, what does this mean for Starmer's leadership? The pressure is mounting from all sides. He's caught between appeasing traditional Labour voters and courting the middle ground he believes is necessary to win a general election. It's a political tightrope act, and right now, it looks like he might be losing his balance. The big question on everyone's lips is, will Starmer cave to the pressure and perform yet another U-turn?
To take over the farm, his young daughters now share his passion. Sadly, they now face the prospect of losing the farm. These changes to APR risk having a deeply detrimental effect on working family farms.
His leadership has already been marked by several policy reversals, each one chipping away at his credibility. From abandoning his pledge to abolish tuition fees to backtracking on nationalisation plans, Starmer's list of U-turns is growing longer by the day. Just when Starmer thought he'd weathered the storm of internal dissent, a new and unexpected tempest has blown in from across the Atlantic. Elon Musk, the tech billionaire known for his erratic online presence, has decided to make British politics his latest playground. And let me tell you, he's not playing nice. Musk's New Year's Day Twitter tirade against Starmer and the Labour government came as a shock to many. But for those who've been paying attention, it's just the latest in a series of increasingly pointed interventions in UK politics. In the week leading up to his outburst, Musk had been obsessively posting about child abuse cases in Britain, sharing or resharing content on the topic more than 50 times. It's clear that Musk has developed a keen interest in our political landscape, and he's not afraid to use his massive platform to make waves. But here's where it gets really interesting. Musk isn't just criticizing from the sidelines, he's gone full nuclear, calling for the removal of Starmer and his safeguarding minister, Jess Phillips, from power. As if that wasn't enough, he's even suggested that King Charles III should dissolve Parliament, a move that would plunge the country into a constitutional crisis. It's like watching a toddler with a nuclear launch button, isn't it? The problem for Starmer is that Musk's influence can't be ignored. With his support for far-right figures and calls to release controversial figures like Tommy Robinson, Musk has positioned himself as a hero to Britain's online far-right community. This puts Starmer in a tricky spot. How does he respond to these attacks without giving them more oxygen? And how does he address the serious issues Musk is raising, like the handling of grooming gang scandals, without playing into far-right narratives? But wait, there's more. As if dealing with Musk wasn't enough, Starmer also has to keep one eye on the potential return of Donald Trump to the White House. He needs to maintain a positive relationship with the incoming Trump administration, while simultaneously countering Musk's narrative. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while walking a tightrope. The pressure is mounting on Starmer to respond.
Changes to APR for farmers come on the back of this and more, and feel like the straw that broke the camel's back. This reduces our farmed land, which we can ill afford when we have a fast-growing population in an unstable world. The multinationals buying up agricultural land to avoid paying inheritance tax with no intention of using it for farming.
Labour MPs are growing increasingly concerned about the potential influence of social media on UK political discourse. Some are even considering abandoning platforms like X altogether due to content moderation issues. But is that really the answer? Or does it just cede more ground to voices like Musk's? As Keir Starmer faces this perfect storm of challenges, his leadership is being put to the ultimate test. The Labour leader finds himself caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to appease both traditional Labour supporters and centrist voters. It's a balancing act that's proving increasingly difficult to maintain. The road ahead for Labour looks treacherous. Can Starmer keep the party unified while addressing the diverse concerns of farmers, urban voters, and those worried about the influence of social media on politics? It's a tall order, and one that will require all of Starmer's political acumen to navigate successfully. The stakes for British politics couldn't be higher. Starmer's strategy of trying to appeal to a broad base could either lead Labour to victory or cause the party to fragment under the weight of its internal contradictions. As the pressure mounts from all sides, one thing is clear. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether Starmer has what it takes to lead Labour back to power, or if he'll be remembered as another failed opposition leader.